All right. So everyone knows, everyone watching, you all know, the president of the United States is the head of the executive branch of government, obviously. And that means no matter who this person is, they have a lot of power. Even that Yahoo, who you can see behind my shoulder. But presidents are not all powerful. That's one thing that we need to be very clear about and keep stating. They cannot just do whatever the heck they want. And that's one of the reasons why there are a bunch of important jobs throughout the federal government that are designed as independent from the White House and from the president, whoever is the president. Jobs where people remain in their roles through administrations of both parties. Some of these jobs have 10-year terms, 12-year terms, 14-year terms. Jobs where new presidents are not allowed to come in and just start firing people. But as we've seen, Trump has been on a bit of a total rampage since taking office, firing as many of those independent voices as he can possibly get away with. Now, there may be people or jobs that most people haven't heard of, but they are still very important. They're playing very important roles in the government, some of the most important ones. Now, in January, Trump fired 2 members of the National Labor Relations Board, the agency that protects the rights of private sector employees against unfair labor practices, a pretty important thing. He also fired 2 members of the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, which protects workers from discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, age, or disability, also very important. In February, he fired the chair of the Merit System Protection Board, which protects federal workers from being forced out of their jobs without cause. And in March, he fired 2 Democrats on the Federal Trade Commission, the agency responsible for protecting American consumers from fraud. To be absolutely clear here, in case there's any doubt, Trump was not allowed to fire any of those people under the law. And at the time, many of them stood up and challenged their firings in court. Not an easy thing to do, by the way. And one case even made its way to the Supreme Court. As you might expect, the court's conservative majority was all too eager to validate Donald Trump's reckless actions. In a 6-3 decision, all 6 conservative justices decided to let Trump's firing stand while the case played out in the lower courts. How courageous of them. But even those 6 very conservative justices, 3 of them whom Trump nominated himself, remember, made clear that there are some people Donald Trump should not be allowed to fire, effectively saying there are some jobs that are so important they must be protected from presidential overreach. Specifically, they said the president should not be able to arbitrarily fire members of the Federal Reserve. Because, as they said, the Federal Reserve is a uniquely structured institution with a distinct historical tradition of independence.